And so today we're just basically going to be going through the Duolingo brand identity design from start to finish, from the logo type and everything. And without too much talk, let's get into the video. And so basically this part of the logo, this part of the identity system shows you the logo and everything concerning the logo, which includes the clear space. Now you can see in here that so they used the logo in different colors. So on black this was supposed to look like, and on white. So on every color you notice that the background changes apart from black and this they are gray. And you notice that they have a clear space. Clear space is basically the space around that the logo should have before meeting any other element in any design whatsoever, UI/UX design or what. So clear space here can be something like this. So around this place there should be nothing here. You understand? So that's what clear space basically is. Now they show you the minimum sizes and the minimum sizes for print and screen. They also go ahead as to explaining general positioning, how it should be, yeah, on pages. It could either be in the middle on one side. You notice that it didn't bring the other side. Yeah, then on the four corners, on the vertical axis in the middle of the paper, and they basically showed you the rotation. And yeah, things that you shouldn't do with the logo. Let's move on to the next one. So landscape lockup. So you notice that all we've been looking at since was just the typography system of the logo, and they have a bed icon. Obviously, like you can't think of Duolingo without thinking of their bed icon. And so now, they basically also show you clear space with their bed icon. What not to do when you're using the bed icon. I think this is really fascinating. If you're a brand identity designer, you need to look at this. It will really help, your design process on the next time that you're looking at or you're working on a brand design. And I think one thing that's fascinating is you see how the avatar, first of all, he was opening his mouth here, but then he's closing his mouth when it comes to an icon. Let's look at the other one. So he's always opening his mouth normally, but when they change it to an icon, he's closing his mouth. And I think one thing you need to do is try and study the Duolingo brand identity system. I'm so sorry, I took a course one time where the person that designed Duolingo's website, I keep on forgetting her name, but I'll add it to the video. The person that designed Duolingo website explained to us why Duolingo's brand identity design is like this. It's one guy from the UK, one very amazing designer from the UK. Let me not say guy because that course was very wholesome. Um, yeah, and you see the avatars, so you see them in different forms. They are, you can use either of them for a favicon. The app itself, I don't know what the app itself looks like because I don't use Duolingo. So sorry. This video is not sponsored by Duolingo, by the way. I just saw that the identity system is available for viewing no matter who you are, and I thought to use it. And so you see their color system, they have primary colors. And now another thing that's very necessary is they didn't just choose these colors out of the blues. The reasons why these colors were chosen are written here. You can see that the feather green is the core of our brand. This is the hue, the word that shade the lingo brand with. Okay, I don't think this necessarily the reason why they chose the colors, but this is instructions as to how to use the colors and where the colors are being used. So this is not an identity system basically for the brand itself. Like it's not a presentation system that the designer did to the brand, is for the world at large. And I think this is really necessary for brand to do. So I don't know. Is it necessary? I don't know. Well, sure, but I think this is free. And let's look at it. And you see the neutral color. Let's move on to the next thing. Since basically let's just move faster than this. I think this is a custom font. What do you think, guys? I think this is a custom font that Duolingo created. Obviously, it's Duolingo we're talking about. They spent a lot of money on this design. It was a custom font that they wouldn't do. And then they have a DIN next rounded. I didn't see the necessity of this font though, but because I've actually not seen it in any of their designs, both online, print, and on their app. So yeah, this is their would I say it's secondary font? Yeah, secondary font, and this is their primary font. And this is the font usage, hierarchy, typeface. Combining the typefaces together, this is what it should look like. And yeah, you see the tweak in colors um, to do an emphasis on Duolingo and how not to use the fonts. Now, you think about their imagery, which is mostly illustrations. And if you go through this, which I'm going to give you access to, you notice that they just basically given instructions. And one thing that these instructions will do for you as a brand or as a designer is to ensure consistency in your designs. So that when you work on a brand identity system for a client, um, the client goes on to do other designs, working with the system that you've already set in place, such that if they employ a new designer, a new motion designer, a new website or UI UX designer, just by virtue of the fact that there is a brand identity system, whoever is doing whatever design on the brand can work on it stress free without any break in transmission. The viewers will not notice that you hired a new designer because there is consistency across board. I think one thing that needs to be there is a what they call this, a creative director, yeah, to direct, yeah, the new guys that are coming in. And so this is Duolingo sub brands plus, and yeah, so they show you how it should be. Like for example, Duolingo events. This is how it should be. This is the space in between. Yeah, exactly. Duolingo, and this is the Y. So Y is gotten from this circle around here. You get to see how everything ties back. Now, let me show you where this is used. You might have seen it, but yeah, this is where it is used. You understand? That's very true. So that's basically clear space and whatnot for sub brand. So when the sub brand has two names, you just basically still the same space in between, and you basically um yeah, use the two names, but try and make it appropriate. If you notice the font type, the font size on this and this are different, and also here too. I think this has a, yeah, I think this, yeah, it depends on the length of the sub brand, because if the sub brand crosses the G, it might not really look aesthetically pleasing. I've not read through this sha, but yeah, you can do that. So this is Duolingo Plus for another brand itself, but you notice that the space in between is still the same. Can go over to illustration, shape construction. So this branding goes as far as explaining how illustration should be made. I know they already have already existing illustrations, but this is being done so that in case there are illustrations that you want to do in the future, you would have an idea as to the brain, the idea, be the mind behind the ones that exist, and you can replicate it. And it even goes down to show you the colors that should be used when working on our illustration. I think this is very wholesome. Objects in space, simplicity, reading, and even from the construction of the design. So there are even shapes to use and there are shapes not to be used. And if we could get like our hands on the whole brand strategy and everything, you'd notice that each and everything that they are doing here and every instruction that they're doing here ties down to brand strategy. So I did a video where I explained my onboarding process. How I don't just get a client's gig and rush over to designing, their brand identity design or their logo design. I walk through them some processes, and if you want to check that out, I think this will really help you land on such an amazing design as this or something more in the future. And if you want to see more content around brand identity design, logo designs, and yeah, I've been talking about the AI industry for a while now, like how AI affects designs and brand identity designs. You should do also subscribe to this channel, like this video, and leave a comment, share to design friends that you know all around the world. And the link to Duolingo's website is going to be on your screen right now. Do well to, yeah, do all this and have an amazing day. Peace.